So we are getting started with our topic 1 today, and the name of that topic is exploratory data analysis. Okay, so we are getting started with our Let's Code Together machine learning event, and our today's topic will be the exploratory data analysis. First of all, I would like to explain you what exactly an exploratory data analysis is. In statistic, or let's say you can say in a machine learning, exploratory data analysis is an approach to analyzing data sets to summarize their main characteristics. Let us say whenever you are going to do any machine learning project, you will going to have some data set. If you are not aware of that data set, machine learning algorithms or the script which you are going to write will not going to help you out. Okay, in order to get started with those data set, you should be aware of what exactly a data set you are using, what are the fields available onto those data sets, what are the values you are going to have on that data sets. For that, we have to make a use of a concept named as exploratory data analysis. तो उसको थोड़ा ध्यान से समझना. Here in your project, EDA, or let's say exploratory data analysis, is a statistician ways of storytelling where you explore data and find patterns. Okay, this is what your EDA is all about. EDA is an approach, or you can say it is a philosophy for data analysis that employs a variety of techniques to maximize insight into a data set, uncover underlying structure, extract important variables, detect outliers and anomalies, test underlying assumptions. This EDA is all about to summarize your data and to understand your data. So whenever you are going to do any machine learning project, you will definitely going to have some data set. And if you are not aware of that data set, what exactly in that data set, what are the fields, what type of value that data set is comprises of, you will not be able to implement any prediction or any machine learning algorithm. So our first objective is to understand our data. And in order to understand our data, we are going to make a use of this exploratory data analysis. Okay, so let us say it in simple terms, it is a process of organizing, plotting and summarizing a data set. So before proceeding further, I would like to share you a URL. Okay, I'm just forwarding this URL onto your chat sections, and those who are having a classroom training, they can note down this URL. In this URL, you will going to get today's data set, which we are going to implement using EDA. So you have to open this URL. A zip file will get downloaded, and you have to save that zip file onto your machines. So I'm just forwarding you. So online participants, you can have that link onto your chat sections. And I'm repeating that URL as well, tinyurl.com, lowercase YCG, 5 for numeric and NEY. This is the URL which you have to make a use. A zip file will get downloaded, extract that zip file, and you will going to get a data set. Okay, just follow all the steps carefully. If you are facing any issue, just let us know on chat section, and you can raise your hands as well. Just simply click on this link, download this zip file, extract that zip file, and you will going to get your data set. So online participants, done with the downloading of the zip file, you can send me a chat message for the confirmation. Yes, we are going to make a use of that zip file. Okay, Namratesh has confirmed me, Gulshan Kumar, Sarath has confirmed me, very good. So first of all, I would like to tell you कि what exactly this data set is all about. तो जो data set आज हम analyze करने वाले हैं, what exactly that data set is, let me just show you. So once you extract that file, you will going to get 4 files. A Python script file, IPYNB file, the data set which we are going to implement today, and you will going to get the notes. The notes which you are able to see on my screen, has been given to you, and the name of that file is pandas.eda.txt file. So these are our nodes, and this is the data set which we are going to make a use. So let me just show you, or let me just give you a brief of this data set. So how many of you here are aware of the keyword named as churn, C-H-U-R-N? Have you heard this word earlier before, churn? What exactly that churn is? Definite. It is a precise definition. Okay. Let me just tell you कि what exactly a churn is. Churn exactly आपका होता क्या? So here on my Google, I'm just going to make a use of what is churn, and you will going to get a very nice definition of this churn. Okay, I'm going to make a use of a telecom industry. Okay. This exactly a churn is. I'm just increasing my size a little bit. So this is. The churn rate is basically the percentage of subscriber to a service who discontinue their subscription to the service within a given period time. For a company to expand its client rate, or let's say its growth rate, as measured by the number of new customer, must exceed its churn rate. So churn rate exactly होती क्या है? Let me just tell you in a layman term, it is a percentage of subscriber to a service. And this is the data set which we are going to implement today. This actually indicates the churn rate. Okay. At the very first column, we have the state. Okay. We have account lease lines. Okay. We have area codes. We have phone numbers. We have international plans, voicemail plan, number of email messages, total day messages, total day minutes, total day charge, total evening minutes, and so on. So this is the data set of some telecom industry which we are going to implement today. Okay. So what we have to do is here, I'm going to make a use of my Jupyter notebook. Just rename your Jupyter notebook as exploratory data analysis. Okay. So those who are working first time on this Jupyter notebook, I would like to give you the brief introduction of this IDE. At the very top, you will going to get standard menus bar, and thereafter you will going to get some toolbars. Okay, these toolbars you can make in order to insert a new cell, in order to run your cell, and so on. And whether this is your cell where we are actually going to write our Python script. In this cell, we are going to write our Python script, and in order to run that script, you can make a use of this icon run cell. Okay. So our first objective is that we have to load this data set. Okay. So what exactly I'm going to do is I'm going to load my data set first. So load this data set first. For exploratory data analysis, I'm going to make a use of two libraries of Python. The first one is your NumPy, and the second one is your Pandas. NumPy for numerical mathematical computations, and Pandas for reading our dataset and to manipulate our dataset. So these are the two datasets, two models which we are going to use today, NumPy and Pandas. So those who are not aware of what exactly a NumPy is and Pandas, I would like to tell you. So let us say the most important library which we are going to implement today is your Pandas. Okay, so Pandas, what exactly is? It is a Python library that provides extensive means for data analysis. Data scientists often work with the data stored in the table formats like CSV, TSV, or XLSX. Even if you are going to implement any data set, you will going to get that data set in a CSV format. So Panda library makes it very convenient to load, process, and analyze such tabular data using SQL-like queries. So this is why we are going to make a use of a Panda. We'll load our data with the help of this Panda. We process our data with the help of this Panda. So Pandas actually deals with the following data structure. The first one is your series and the second one is your data frame. Series actually stands for your one-dimensional labeled array, and it is capable of holding data of any type. And when we are going to make a use of data frame, whenever we want to load our data in a form of row and column. So what we have to do is we have to make a use of this data frame. So our first objective is that we have to import these modules. So make a use of this import pandas spd. Here I have created a reference variable of my pandas library. The next library which we are going to import is import numpy as np. So this is a standard. Whenever you are going to implement any machine learning project, in a first cell you have to import your all libraries. Okay, so in a machine learning approach, our first step is to import all the libraries which you are going to use. So these are the two libraries which we are going to use: pandas spd for processing and for loading our data, numpy for performing some mathematical computations. Okay, now what you have to do is you just have to run this cell. Okay, this is the icon. You can click on this icon and you can run your cell. What this will do, this will going to load all the dependencies available within this library for us. Okay, so first of all, you have to run this cell. And if you are facing any kind of error, let's say pandas module not defined, numpy module not defined, just make sure that you have write it correctly. Okay, there should be a typo mistake, so you can check this out. Okay, once this is done, now our next objective is that I'm going to load my data set. So I have given you the zip file, extract that zip file, and you will going to get a data set with the name of telecom_chart. So this is an Excel file and it is in a format of your CSV, comma separated value. So first of all, what you have to do is you have to copy the address where you have unzipped this file. So how you can copy that address? Let's say at the top of your address bar, you can click anywhere in your white area. So I'm just going to click on this area and you will going to get the complete path. Okay, this is how you can get the complete path. Just copy this path. Okay, and now I'm going to read this CSV file within our Jupyter notebook. Okay, in order to do so, here we are implementing an inbuilt function, and the name of that inbuilt function is read_CSV. So you can make a use of this method in order to read CSV files. Okay, so with the help of my reference variable PD, I'm going to call this method named as read_CSV. And if you want a document string of this method, what exactly this method will do, what type of argument this method will receive, you can press a shortcut key Shift plus Tab. Okay, you can press a shortcut key Shift plus Tab. This is a shortcut key for those who are actually making a use of their Jupyter notebook. Okay, so there you will going to get the complete signature of this function. So the first parameter which we have to specify is the file path. Okay, so I'm going to specify my file path. I'm going to make a use of this parenthesis. Within this parenthesis, make a use of a single quotes and just specify your path. Those who are using Windows, they have to specify double slashes. Is anyone there who is using Mac or Linux? They can raise your hand or just let me know in your chat section. Those online candidates who are actually using Linux and Mac can raise your hand and just let me know in a chat section. Okay, Sarath is using the Linux and Namratesh, you are also using Linux? Okay, only Sarath is using the Linux. Okay, Sarath, what you have to do is, if you want the path, you can make a use of a shortcut key PWD, present working directory. Okay, and you will get your directory and you can specify the path within this single quotes. Okay, after specifying your path, what you have to do is you have to specify the name of your data set. and the dataset named is telecom underscore chur. Okay, this is the name of my dataset, telecom underscore chur. So here I am going to specify my dataset, and you have to specify its extension as well, .csv. So this is my complete function signature. You have to make a use of this read.csv, and you have to specify your data path, dataset path. Save this information on a variable named as df. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to create a variable over here, and I'm going to give that variable name is df, short form for my data frame. I have already told you that pandas provide you two types of data structure. The first one is your series, and the second one is your data frame. So we can make a use of this data frame in order to get our data in a row and column format. So here, after saving this information on my variable df, I'm going to print this df. So what you have to do is, you have to type df over here, and you can run your cell. Okay, and you will going to get your data onto your Jupyter notebook. Okay, so online now I want another confirmation who are done with the reading of this data set. You can just raise your hand and let me know. And if you are facing any issue, just leave us a message on a chat section. So this is our very important step. Those who are not able to read their CSV file, just check their spelling and just let me know in a chat section if you are facing any issue. Okay, so Muhammad Irshad Ansari is getting an error, getting a file not found error. I am using a Google Colab. Okay, Muhammad, what you have to do is, if you are using a Google collaboration, I would like to tell you. Okay, Mohammed, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to give you a URL. Okay, so instead of typing this file name, what you can do is, you can specify a URL over here. Okay, so just wait for a while, and I'm going to give you a URL. So after reading our dataset, we are continuing. The first function which we are going to use for our exploratory data analysis is head. What this head will do, this will going to return you the top n rows of your dataset. So let me just show you the definition of this head as well. It will return the first n rows. और जो इसका default होता है, this function returns the first n rows for the object, and n value default is here 5. So you will going to get the top 5 rows of your data set. Okay, not more than that, just 5. Unless you are not going to specify how many topmost data you want to read. So first of all, we are going to use the default one. So I'm going to make a use of df.head, and we will be getting our top 5 rows. Now you can see that we are getting our top 5 data. And if you are going to specify any parameter over there, so you just have to type this df.head along with this parenthesis. So if you are not going to specify any argument to this function, you will going to get the top 5 rows. And if you specify any argument to this function, df.head, let's say I want top 10 rows. So when you run this cell, this time you will going to get the top 10 rows from your data set. By using this head function, you can easily understand what exactly you have in your data set. Instead of reading the complete data set, just make a use of head, read 2-3 lines, you will get some overview of your data set. Okay. Okay. Now if you want to get how many total number of rows and columns you have onto your data set, we are going to make a use of another variable, and the name of that variable is df.shape. Okay, df.shape. df.shape will going to give you the total number of rows and column available onto your dataset. So when I run this cell in my dataset, you can see that we have 3,333 rows and 21 columns. So 3,333 are our rows and 21 is our column. Okay, so online you are implementing it side by side with us. Please just let me know and raise your hand. So now here we are going to perform some more queries. So the topic which you are actually learning today is also known as querying of data. Okay, exploratory data analysis, or you can also say as it is a querying up of a data set. So the first query, yeah, let's say the first information I want to get from my data set is I want the column names. What exactly we need is we need columns name. So for that, what you can do is you can just simply make a use of this print function. Okay. You can also make a use of shift tab in order to understand what this print function will do. It is actually used to print a values, and these are the argument of this print function separator and the file and flush and so on. So here within my print function, I'm just going to make a use of df dot column. Okay, so I'm going to run my cell, and once you run this cell, you will going to get the complete list of your column. Okay, so you have to make a use of a columns over here, df dot columns. So these are the columns which we have in our data set. We have state column, we have account length, area code, phone number, etc. and etc. So if you want the column names information of your data set, you can just make a use of a inbuilt function df dot columns. Okay. Now the next function is a very useful function, and the name of that function is info. What this info will do, if you want to get full summary of your data set, okay, if you want to get the full summary of your data set, you can make a use of this function print df dot info. And once I run this cell, what kind of information I'm going to get, let me just show you. So I have to minimize my size a little bit, then you will be able to see. So first of all, it is showing that it is of type data frame. Here we are using data frame. Okay, and now here what you have to do is you just have to put a parenthesis and rerun your cell again. So the first information is that this data set is of type pandas. We have 3,333 rows and varying from 0 to 33332, and we have 21 columns. Okay, in a state column we have 4 times 3 entries. We have in account length we have the same, and along with that data type. But exactly they are actually showing you कि state is of type object, account length is of type integer, phone number is of type object. This info, that info will going to just give you what type of data set you are using. Either you are using a pandas or you are reading your data set on a NumPy. And this function will going to give you the full summary of your data set. And it is very important. What exactly here is, if you try to get the minimum and the maximum from an objective value, you will going to get an error. So our first objective is that if I get the information that state is an object, it means that I cannot perform mathematical computation onto this state because its type is object. So we are not able to perform mathematical computations. Mathematical computations are only possible on to int 64, integer 64 and so on, float 64, integer 64. So if you're trying to execute any mathematical formula, इससे आपको पता लग जाएगा कि it is of type object and I'm not able to perform the mathematical computation onto this. Okay, so now let's proceed towards our next cell. Okay, now what we have to do is, let me just show you. Here in my data, you can see that I have plan and voicemail plan in a form of no and yes. Okay, इसे कहते हैं आपका categorical data, no or yes. What you can do is, you can change this no and yes as 0 or 1. You can change your true false value, yes no value in a form of 0 and 1. Why you are going to do that? So that you can perform mathematical computation in a better way. So first of all, I would like to tell you how to change the data type of your any column. So here we are going to change our data type. How to change the data type. If you want to change the data type of your column, what you have to do is you have to make a use of a function named as type. This is what you have to use as type. What this as type will do, let me just show you and kindly understand this concept. First of all, I would like to show you this chart. Here you can see that this chart is in a format of bool. There you can see that we are getting this churn in a form of bool. Now I want to convert the data type of this churn. So what I'm going to do is specify your column name. How you are going to specify your column name? Make a use of this df, make a use of square brackets, single quotes, and within the single quotes specify your column name. So this is my column name churn. यहाँ पर मैंने ये ऐसा क्यों लिखा है क्योंकि डेटा फ्रेम के अंदर है हमारे पास चर. Okay, now what you have to do is specify again df.churn. Okay, and I'm going to change the type of my churn as, so I'm going to make a use of this as a type, and I'm going to change its type as integer 64. If you face any issue कि लेट्स से यार मेरे को इसका टाइप चेंज करना है तो यू कैन मेक अ यूज ऑफ दिस एज टाइप. ओके, एंड व्हाट यू कैन डू इज अगेन यू कैन मेक अ यूज ऑफ दिस प्रिंट एंड यू कैन प्रिंट df.info. Now what you have to do is you have to rerun your cell. So at the top you can see that the type of this churn is bool. Okay, and now if you see the type of churn has been changed to integer 64. Here you can see that the type of churn has been changed from bool to integer 64. And what if you try to print your data? Let me just do that as well. I'm going to make a use of df.head again. And this time, let me just scroll it down a little bit. You will going to get the value in 00000. इससे पहले ये वैल्यूज किस फॉर्म में थी? ट्रू और फॉल्स में. अगर आप ऊपर की तरफ स्क्रॉल डाउन करोगे, इससे पहले ये आपकी वैल्यूज थी ट्रू और वैल्यू के फॉर्मेट पे. ठीक है, मैं यहाँ पे इसको स्क्रॉल डाउन कर रहा हूँ एंड लेट मी शो यू फॉल्स फॉल्स फॉल्स. तो यहाँ पर आपका क्या हुआ कि डेटा टाइप हैज बीन चेंज्ड, फॉल्स विल बिकम 0 एंड ट्रू वैल्यू विल बिकम 1. So all you need to do is you just have to make a use of this as type function in order to change the data type of your column. Okay. Now this is one of the most important function which you are going to use again and again while implementing datasets on machine learning, and the name of that function is describe. Okay, describe. So what this describe method will do, the describe method shows basic statistical characteristics of each numerical feature, either it is of integer 64 or float 64. और क्या ये आपको describe दिखाता है number of non-missing values, mean value, standard deviation, range, median, 0.25 and 0.75 quartiles. Okay, so if you are going to make a use of this describe function, let me just make a use of this df.describe. You will going to get a brief summary of your data set. कि mean value क्या है, median value क्या है. So just run this cell and you will going to get an information somewhat like this. First of all, you will going to get the total count, then the mean of this particular account length, the mean of this area code, standard deviation, minimum value, 25%, 50%, 75%. These are the intervals. At 25 interval, you will going to get the 74 value. At 50% interval, you will going to get the 101, and in 75, you will going to get 127. You will also be getting the maximum value. So make a use of this describe function whenever you want to find out the maximum value, minimum value, mean value, standard value. All you need to do is just have to make a use of this describe function. और अगर मैं आपको लेमन टर्म में बताऊं कि describe क्या करता है, It is just used to give you the statistical computation of your data set. एक statistical analysis देता है आपके data set का describe.
So, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah. So, hi to every participant. Finally, I have reached to my place. Yes, I would like to request you, since a few participants have joined during when the session has already initiated.
Okay.
So I would like to give you a quick recap of what we have done till now, a slow recap, so that they all will be able to be on the same page, and then we will proceed further. So we will be keeping this session quite interactive, so that we all can speak to each other, we can work out on the problems of machine learning, and finally achieve our objective, that is to perform data analysis over the data available of churn users using Pandas library, then plot the graphs which will be through which we will be interpreting and evaluating our results, and finally we will be proceeding to next stage, wherein we will be visualizing all other answers. I hope my voice is audible to all the participants. So I request each and every participant who can hear us properly, just raise your hand, so that we'll get to know that things are going quite well. And all together, we'll proceed to code again. So a quick recap followed by our objectives.
Okay.
Okay. So we all will be there on the same page. I guess all the classroom participants are pretty comfortable in coding together. They're working.
Yes, sir.
They're working on their IDs. Every participant in the classroom. Can you just rotate into the classroom so that I can see who all are available and sitting there? Everybody is able to see this. Okay. So now we are going to import Pandas as PD, and using this column, let's say अगर आप यहाँ पे so let's say I have imported Pandas PD, and now using this, what I want is using okay, let's say you have a data frame. Yes, can you type on my behalf?
Yes, sir.
Can you type in PD dot? Can you just type on my behalf? PD
Yes,
dot.
Sir, I have a file in which we have some null values. So I'm just going to show you. Okay, here in this demonstration, I would like to tell you how to get the null values from your data set. Okay, so let's say I have a data set in which I'm actually having some null values. So let me just make a use of that data set. Okay, so this is my data set in which I have some null values. So first of all, I would like to appreciate Vishal, because Vishal has raises a very good question. Okay, what you all have to do is you have to note down what I'm going to write over here. What this df.describe will do, it will just give you, okay, I'm just going to write it over here. It will going to give you the numerical, let's say statistics of numerical data only. What this lines mean, let me just show you. If you are going to make a use of this describe, you will going to get the statistics of numerical data only. Here, when we have uses this info function, you can see that this is our integer format. So you will going to get, you can use this describe function. For this, you can use describe function. But for this object and for these Boolean values, okay, so let me show you here. For these objects and for these Boolean values, you have to specify some more parameter to describe function. How? Let me show you. So here you are clear that this describe will only going to give you the statistics of numerical data only. Now, if you want the statistics of non-numeric feature, let's say here we are going to get the statistics of non-numeric feature, और ये आपके non-numeric feature कौन कौन से हैं? Objects हो गया, bool हो गया, okay? So if you want the statistics of those non-numerical feature, what you have to do is make a use of this describe function, okay? And you have to indicate here, let me just type this as well. Here you have to indicate include parameter, okay? You have to make a use of this include parameter. So here you have to indicate include parameter. How you can specify this indicate parameter? Here in this describe, I'm going to make a use of this include. Okay, just type this over here, include, and within this include, with the help of this list, just specify I want information of my object, means let's say I want information of statistic of my object as well as of my bool values. This time you will not going to get the mean, median, mode, but you will going to get is once you run this cell, you will going to get the total number of count, you will going to get the total number of unique values, you will going to get the information of the top most value, and you will going to get the frequency. Okay, in an object or in a boolean, if you are going to see your data, you will going to get some string or characters information. Let me show you. If I make a use of this df.head, and just I'm going to print the two top 10 rows. Here you can see that state has been written in a character array format. Okay, this international plan and this voicemail plan is also in an object format. Okay, so what this will actually going to give us the count, unique, top, and the frequency. So this is how you can generate a statistics for non-numeric features. If you are making a use of string, you can also specify the string as well. So all you need to do is just include this parameter within your describe function. Okay, if you are facing any issue, just make sure that you didn't have done any syntactically mistake. Okay, so now we are proceeding further. Okay, Vishal, now I think I have specified the answer of your question. For non-numerical feature, you have to make a use of this include. Okay, so now we are proceeding further. Let's say if you want to count the total number of Boolean values. Let's say if you just want the information regarding Boolean values, then what you can do is you can make a use of function. First of all, we have Boolean values in our df. Okay, and those Boolean values are available onto our churn column. So I'm going to make a use of my churn column, and here I'm going to make a use of a function named as dot values, and you can make a use of underscore counts. Okay, it is a value actually, value underscore count. Just make a use of a tab. You will get the suggestion value underscore counts. This will going to give you the total number of Boolean values available within your data set. Okay, so when I run this cell, I'm going to get 20850 negative value and 483 positive value. Means we have 2850 false values and 483 true values. So for Boolean, you have to make a use of this value underscore count function. Okay, now we are proceeding towards sorting. Okay, we will be implementing some queries related to your sorting. Sorting is mandatory whenever you want to sort your data set in an ascending order or in a descending order. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a use of function named as sort underscore values. So now we are proceeding towards sorting, how you can sort the values of your data set. So basically, sorting a data frame can be sorted by the value of one of the variable. Means whenever you want to sort, you have to specify one of the column name. How you can do it, let me just show you. Here, first of all, just I'm going to show you my data. So what I'm going to do is here, I'm going to make a use of my df and I'm going to retrieve my top 2 rows. Okay, and I'm going to run my set. Here you can see in my total day charge, let me just show you the column here. So we get this column total day charge. Okay, the first value which we are getting is 45.07 and the second value which we are retrieving is 27.47. Now I want to sort these two values. Okay, what I want is I want 27 at the above of this 45. Means we have to sort these values. So all you need to do is I'm just removing this df dot head 2. Here you can make a use of function named as df dot sort underscore values. Okay, so this is a function which you can make a use sort underscore values. And in its screen you can see the document string as well. It actually used to sort the values. Or what exactly it is going to receive a parameter from you. The first parameter we have to specify is by. In by you have to specify the name of your column. Okay, within this parameter by.
Can we just